To build a world from nothing takes courage, but to allow a stranger to walk through it without instruction, without certainty, takes trust. When we play a game, we rarely notice the decisions beneath our movement. The weight of a step, the direction of light, the silence between encounters. These aren't accidents. They are choices made quietly by people who hope their work will be understood through interaction. This is Bless You Again. The developers officially permitted the use of this gameplay footage. Beyond that, there were no requests, no expectations, and no influence over what follows. This analysis exists independently. The idea for this project came from a simple suggestion to document what it feels like to learn a game from zero. Early on, I removed a failed run. I thought I could do better, cleaner, more controlled, but that decision felt dishonest because learning is rarely clean and understanding rarely arrives without friction. So instead of presenting refinement, I choose to present process. I'm not your judge, outcomes. I'm here to listen. And what emerged by the final attempt wasn't victory, it was clarity. Before responding to a creation, it helps to understand what publicly known about its origin and what must remain observation. Bless You Again is developed and published by Gino Inc, a Tokyo-based independent studio founded in 2022. Public materials describe a team focused on creating experiences meant to linger emotionally rather disappear after completion. Beyond those official details, much of what follows is interpretation, reading shape of the work rather than private information. Viewed from the outside, this feels like an output of a small, tightly focused group working under meaningful constraints. The scope is deliberate, priorities are visible, certain systems are emphasized, others deferred. Public crowdfunding records show strong early community support, suggesting that this project grew through trust rather than scale. That context matters because frames Bless You Again not as a finished declaration but as an evolving conversation between intention, limitation, and learning. At its core, Bless You Again is a 3D action roguelike. You play as Lily, a magician described as a homunculus, an artificial life form descending into a structure, the tomb of blessing, in search of a specific miracle. The loop is familiar. You enter, you fight, you adapt, you fall, and you return. Visually, the game makes a clear choice. The environment leans toward realism, texture, while Lily herself is stylized and highly readable. This contrast suggests a conscious allocation of effort, placing expressive clarity where player attention naturally settles. Lighting plays a central role. Illumination shifts dynamically, shaping space and mood in real time. Even in still moments, the world feels active. The ambition is visible, but ambition, especially early, often reveals its pressure points. That pressure is felt most clearly in movement. Lily's motion is light, sometimes almost weightless. Surfaces appear solid and grounded, yet traversal glides across them. The disconnect is subtle but persistent. The camera amplifies this tension in narrow spaces, it compresses in large counters, it can lose context during moments where clarity matters most. Perspective occasionally resists the player. I approach the game without assistive settings or guidance, relying entirely on the systems as they presented themselves. Inputs are respected, but precision is demanded. Small misalignments, timing, distance, angle become decisive. Still, something important holds. Failure feels attributable. Mistakes feel personal. Even when frustrated, the game does not feel dismissive. That distinction matters. A different tension emerges over longer runs. Extended encounters, particularly against high health enemies, gradually shift from dialogue to endurance. Engagements become sustained effort rather than evolving exchange. When I attempted to adapt my approach, building around range strategies, the reward system often felt indifferent to intent. Outcomes appear driven more by randomness than by reinforcement of chosen direction. This creates a quiet conflict between mastery and chance. In many modern designs, failure leaves a trace, knowledge persists, momentum accumulates, even resets carry meaning. Here, long runs can end without residue, no experience retained, no structural memory. It doesn't feel punishing, but it does feel hollow. And that hollowness reframes time investment. The environments reflect this transitional state. As progression continues, visual themes shift, but structural patterns remain consistent. Spaces function early, yet sparingly. There are few interruptions, few environmental questions posed to the player. The world feels prepared for stories it hasn't begun telling. Not unfinished, but waiting. This analysis is offered with respect, not to diminish the work, but to engage with it honestly at this moment in its development. Bless you again feels like a statement, and more like a direction. Three possibilities stand out. First, allowing player intent to shape outcomes more clearly. Second, ensuring time investor leaves a trace even in failure. Third, aligning mechanical structure with the game's visual and tonal ambition. Right now, the game exists in tension. The artistry reaches forward, the systems hesitate. For that reason, I can't recommend it yet. But I see the foundation. I see restraint. I see a project willing to grow in public rather than rush toward certainty. If that trajectory continues, this will become something worth returning to, not for spectacle, but for depth. I'll be watching. This has been a TalesNexus process study. Thank you for your time.